Nice thumbnail, dude.
All right, everybody out there in TV land, here in Bridgeport, Connecticut, at the
Oh, it's so embarrassing, dude.
Oh,
Wow, it just popped up for me. I just saw it.
What?
Oh, sorry, dude.
Are we live, dude?
No.
And we are back. Welcome to another edition of the Sports Corner. And we are back. We got the full crew in the house. That is what it's all about. The Yankees, out of any team in the league, are the best equipped to handle a blow like this.
I think there is a higher power at play here. He's due law of averages. That dude is the ultimate scrub. It's trash. Yeah. Every person you have in there is fucking trash.
Next game, you're going to see a big performance. You can see it in the end of the game, and I'm just totally stoked and excited for this.
We are back. Welcome to another edition of the Sports Court. And today we literally have the full crew in the house. Matthew's going to be coming in from New York. We're here at the Horseshoe. What a day.
Dude, what a time to be alive. Favorite bar, dude. Favorite place. Favorite show.
Yeah,
Super pumped,
and
man.
appreciate everybody here, friends, family, and everybody listening too. We got my sister Jennifer in Chokery listening from North Carolina. We got my sister Stacy and her husband Michael, and my nephews Patrick and Dominic, newly born Dominic, listening.
Dominic! That's my boy right there.
We're excited about that as well.
Ooh.
And my uncle Jamie and my cousin Jeff, big Mets fan.
Let's
so we know
go.
Tony's
Finally,
riled
man.
about that. But what a day, and just so much to talk about. We got the NBA playoffs, talk about also the weekend in baseball. A lot of good stuff for the Mets. Last couple of days, good stuff for the Yankees.
That's winning right now.
Right now, behind us, we have Jordan Spieth going for birdie at the RBC Heritage in a playoff against Matthew Fitzpatrick. So a lot going on right now. Heat up 8 early on the Milwaukee Bucks, and the Lakers with the upset win over Memphis earlier. John Morant getting hurt. We'll talk about all of that. But as we always do, let's start in the world of Major League Baseball.
2-2, he got him swinging. A back-to-back strikeouts for Robbie Ray. There's damage right there. Shohei, way, Sayonara, where did that land? Stuck to Chapman, who leaps up and grabs it.
Story spins and fires. Out at first.
There it goes. See ya. Home run, Aaron Judge.
Michael, could we get to some comments?
Yes. We have hi guys, exclamation point from Chokery, the legend himself. Wish we were there in person too. And then we have Jay Bird from the crowd. Yo, Jay Bird, there he is right there at the door. Everybody. Yo, Sportsport is really out here, he says.
Wow. But appreciate everybody tuning in. Of course, Spieth missing the putt here. So I don't know if we're going to go to a second playoff hole. We'll have to keep you posted on that. But
I got to say, Brian.
Let's get a look here. Tony.
Thought he had it too.
Game of inches.
Had the club raised. There it is again.
I
dude.
can't
Look.
imagine that. You got $3.6 million on the line, and that happens.
Dude.
Unbelievable.
But dude, I gotta
I hate to
say,
see that.
you know me. I haven't been watching a lot of golf my entire
Masters
life, but,
last week, though.
dude. Between this weekend and last weekend, like my God, what a time to start watching golf. Like,
Yeah.
seriously.
Yeah. And we got the PGA Championship
Yeah.
in Rochester next month, so we're pumped up for that. And Jordan Spieth, if he could win that, that would complete the career Grand Slam. So
Dude,
an
that'd be
exciting
ridiculous.
time. But we'll talk about golf in a little bit. But we want to recap the weekend in baseball. It started on Friday for both of our teams, and obviously I was at the game.
Oh, yeah.
Sam was there.
Woo!
Our friend Corey, his girlfriend Laura, had a great time. Great seats, great view. And it got off to a great start. The energy was high. Anthony Volpe hitting his first career Major League home run.
So dope you were there for that.
Yeah, I mean,
How did you feel?
It felt like
Are
the
you
World
guys
Series.
brothers now?
You know I've been high on him for a long time.
God, yes.
But yeah, really, everybody was going nuts, and there would have been a curtain call, but because of the pitch clock, no time for it. Though.
Oh man.
And then Judge, Judge goes back to back too, so everybody was really on their feet for that. So you felt pretty good. You had Nestor Cortez, as always, too, answering the bell. And if you look at what he ended up giving them, he gave them 7 innings, 5 hits, 2 runs, didn't walk any batters, and it gave up those 2 solo shots. But unfortunately, that wasn't good enough because, we did have Stanton at a home run, which was a blast in the 6th inning, answering Correa's shot, who seems to beat up on the Yankees somehow. Fortunately, he wasn't able to do that today. But it was 3-1, after 3-2 after Garlick hit that home run in the 7th. So they bring in Clay Holmes in the 8th, and I said it on my Instagram story after the game. I just didn't understand that move. He hasn't been great going back to last summer. I didn't like that move at all. It's not the inning that he normally pitches.
Yeah, and I think that it's kind of a tough decision there. I mean, yeah, you kind of want someone like Clay Holmes, who hasn't really looked great, I feel like, in any spot you put him. Maybe just trying to mix it up a little bit and give him a different look at a game, or maybe try and, spark some type of play out of him. But I mean, the fact of the matter is, I mean, you said it before too. I mean, especially with him, like moving him around so much does not help him.
No,
because he never gets a chance to kind of settle in and find his groove and get some consistent play. So I mean, if you keep moving him around, I just think that's the pitcher you really can't do that with.
Yeah, exactly. And you saw it. When he came into the game, he gives up a single right away to Michael Taylor. Walks Byron Buxton. So already you got 2 on, nobody out. And I definitely was, getting pretty nervous, but at the same time thinking, he throws that heavy sinker, could induce a double play. But unfortunately, he had 2 strikes on Carlos Correa. And, it caught too much of the plate. And he literally roped it right down the line, which gave the Twins the lead, which was tough. And I think if you go back, he had like an ERA, maybe 0.6, maybe end of July going into August last year. Since then, ERA is like 5.6. But yet, the Yankees have kind of left him as the unquestioned closer, which I don't think is the right move. You got Marinaccio there. Michael King, the velocity's back up. So I just think he needs a break from that closer.
So where would you want it? Like a 7-inning kind of?
Yeah. Like, how like sometimes, and I know, it's not this bad, but when Chapman was struggling, they throw him out there in the 5th inning just to get the confidence back up. So I think that's what they should do, because that was a game. You had it right there. Yeah. And it was a shame. Nestor threw 93 pitches too. No reason to take him out as well.
I know too. And he went through the 7th inning. Did he give up 2 in the 6th?
He gave up a home run, I think, in the 5th and then the 6th. Just solo shots. That's it. Other than that, he was getting a lot of weak contact, had some strikeouts.
Yeah, you would imagine. I mean, he'd probably get another 15 pitches in, like, at least.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you think Boone is just maybe a little bit too cautious right now with him? Or?
I think it's just he was so good for so long last year that they just want to get him going to that level, because it was such a relief going from the high wire act with Chapman every single time, and he was strike 1, strike 2, getting a lot of ground balls. But unfortunately, it just wasn't hasn't been able to do that in a little bit. So something to monitor. Peralta is another guy who usually answers the call. When he came in after. He started out with a walk and then was able to get 2 strikeouts and a ground out. So you look at, since he's come over from the Giants and that Mike Tauchman deal, I think his ERA is 2.5. Yeah. So he's done a good job. So he's an option. And the Yankees did try to rally in the 9th. I thought they were going to. Frenchie Cordero, we've talked about him a lot.
So talented.
He's been hot. Yeah. I think he has 4 home runs, 12 RBIs, up there for the team lead. He's single. So you got Oswaldo Cabrera up. They don't put the bunt on. And I'm just kind of curious. I was thinking it right away in my head when he came up. You got nobody out. You get someone in the runners in scoring position. LeMahieu's on the bench to pinch hit. Do you think they should have done that? I know hindsight's 2020.
Well, yeah, but I mean, I feel like that type of call for a bunt is pretty fundamental, like across like any type of level of baseball. Yeah. You bunt the runner on to second. Why not?
And it's not like Stanton or Judge was up who never bunt. Obviously.
But still,
Cabrera can handle it.
Yeah.
So I didn't like that. Unfortunately, I think it was the second pitch. Grounds into the double play. And then Jose Trevino, who's had some big hits late in the game for the Yankees, they pinch hit Willie Calhoun, who's barely played for him.
Unbelievable.
He grounds out, and that was the end of the game. And it was just one of those games. It didn't feel like an April game. And I don't know if it was because of the Volpe home run, or the energy in the stadium. I mean, it was packed. but that one hit. Honestly, it was one of those tough April losses. Unfortunately,
It was because you were there.
well, yeah, obviously, but you know how I am. It doesn't matter if I'm there or not. I'm going to wear it the same way.
How was the crowd here this early April?
Oh, it was. Yeah, I think I want to say attendance was over 40,000.
I mean, I gotta imagine Volpe. I mean, it must have been bumping in there.
Oh yeah, everybody was really fired up.
So cool.
And then the fact too that they had the Tino bobblehead day.
Oh, it's right, the bobblehead.
Yeah, so that's going to be in the studio tomorrow. So everybody look out for that.
Let's go.
And then the fact too that they had him throw out the first pitch. They had him, take some pictures.
Oh,
and
it's so cool.
The crowd was so excited.
Yeah.
When I was in Monument
Tino's
Park,
the man.
everybody was talking about how he was their favorite player, and like we've talked about the intensity, that will to win. Tino Martinez brought that every day.
Oh, dude, that's so cool.
Tony brings that every day.
Yeah. So does Paul O'Neill brought that every day.
Paul O'Neill. Brian.
Michael just wants to see a little more of that in Anthony Rizzo. Then he'll be fully
Oh
on board.
my god. Michael just doesn't like Italian.
Wow. Yeah. Right.
Can't handle it.
So that was a tough loss, coming off of, getting blown out 11-2 the previous night.
That's right. Dude.
Fortunately, Domingo Germán probably pitched the best game I've ever seen him pitch.
Yeah.
Career high, right? On Saturday. Career high 11 Ks, 6 1/3, 3 hits, 1 run, 11 strikeouts, no walks. That's how you know a guy's dialed in. First sign of trouble, they got him out of there in the 7th because he only threw 78 pitches.
Right.
They make the good move to go to Michael King. And he had been a little spotty, just fastball velocity down maybe 2 miles an hour. And he answered the bell on this one. The 2 strikeouts, not walking anybody. So he was able to slam the door. And this was, an offensive day where you got, Higashioka hitting his second home run, and occasionally he'll pop one out, as a backup catcher.
Right.
Rizzo, homering after hitting 2 homers the previous night, so it seems like he's kind of finding himself in the groove as well. And I don't know if you saw the game before; he was actually getting pretty heated, and we thought he was going to get tossed out of the game. Tossed his helmet. Arguing with the umpire, which you don't usually see that out of Anthony Rizzo.
I know you really don't at all.
I need to see
he's
that
such
more.
A level-headed guy.
Where's
you like
that?
it. You like it.
I like that.
No, you don't want that.
No, I like Rizzo showing some emotion for
Stop
once.
it.
But real
Stop
quick, I want to just get to some comments.
Oh
Nice.
yeah,
Let's go.
absolutely.
So Donna Barnaby in the crowd, so excited to be at the live broadcast.
Aw.
Then Stacy Ross, great live show. Are the Rays running away with the division, or are you feeling hopeful since it's so early?
You know the answer to that question, Stacey. Yankees will win the division by
What's there?
5 games over them at least by the time it's all said and done. I mean, nice run to start, but they've had the weakest schedule that you can imagine. So of course they're going to jump out to a start like that.
You love that they're
We'll see.
14-1 or whatever. OAG
13-1.
CT, pretty sweet podcast setup here.
Oh, thanks. It's Chris for my students.
Oh,
Yeah.
Chris.
It's very popular
Dude,
teacher.
Tony is
People
probably
Like,
the most.
are you up for like a Teacher of the Year
Has
award
to
or
be.
anything?
I must be.
Dude, Tony, when he walks onto that campus, I'm just telling you, it is pandemonium. It's ridiculous. The old, the new, people don't know what to do.
Yeah.
Fortunately, I am blessed with very teachable students who have great attitudes, so it makes teaching better.
A plus.
So after Higgy,
Oh wait, I have one more
go ahead,
comment.
go ahead.
Sorry, Brian.
We'll get to it, Michael.
This last one. Oh, Befer, by the way, says, "Hey guys, is he here?"
Yeah, but is he outside?
Dude, he could be in here. We
say
don't
like
even
that
know
one.
it though.
Stacy Ross also says Patrick wanted to let you know he's so excited to see Shohei in person tomorrow. He can't wait to tell Uncle Brian all about it.
Wait, so they're
Shohei in
going to
person.
the game tomorrow? Stacy, she's saying Shohei in
Oh,
person.
we have
I mean,
shrugs.
I
in the
think
crowd,
they
shrugs.
have dinner plans with him. It sounds like.
they must be.
After the
Okay,
game.
well,
Yeah.
that's awesome. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's awesome.
Big
Anytime
thing.
you can see Shohei, I mean, living legend, Tony.
Yeah,
of
he
course.
literally is. I'd love
Yeah.
to see Shohei.
Any more comments, Michael, or are we all caught up at this point?
No, that's it.
All
You're good to go, bud.
Any comments from you, Michael?
No comments.
Only other thing I was going to say here, LeMahieu had a nice single. He seems like he's been really, hitting his stride lately.
Right.
But Stanton, unfortunately, in the 7th
Hamstring.
inning, doubles. Thought it was a home run, wasn't. So turns it into second gear late.
Yeah.
Has to come out of the game hamstring, and then as we found out this morning, placed on the injured list. And they're doing MRIs. So a guy who's missed 39% of his games since 2019. You hate to see that.
You really do, and especially, we talk about the hamstring injury all the time, like 6 to 8 weeks. Like,
Yeah. So we'll have to see what happens.
Was that the call though that Michael K also flubbed?
He probably, yeah. Because I
Did
mean,
you
but
see that?
everybody
Did you
is.
see
We have
that,
to make
Michael?
no, I didn't.
Dude, literally, like fly ball to like deep center, ends up bouncing off the wall, but you hear Michael K goes, "There it goes, see ya!" And literally, like at this point, the center fielder's like playing the ball. I know.
He's losing it.
Yeah.
Dude, he's just thinking about the views, man.
Yeah.
He's worried about
He's worried
Rick
about
and Dave.
Rothenberg.
Yeah, dude, you know it.
Oh,
my
Yeah.
they're coming for
gosh.
that time slot.
They are.
And I know, like, Dad, you've kind of thought, right? His time's kind of coming to an end, Michael K. You're kind of sick
Yeah.
of him at this point.
Dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he's been the play-by-play over 20 years.
Yeah.
You know? So.
The people say, you know.
They need Brian.
Yeah.
Those would be electric calls for the next 25 years. Are you
Well,
kidding
a little
me?
preview on opening day, right?
Oh my gosh.
Dude.
Opening day for Brian is literally Christmas, his birthday, Sam's, the whole family's birthday wrapped into one. It's ridiculous.
And then obviously Yankees big win today, 2-0, and like he has all season, Garrett Cole really is pitching
Amazing.
the best he's pitched since he came over to the Yankees.
Matthew
and-
says, "You guys look beautiful." I'm sorry, you just made me laugh.
Oh.
Appreciate that, Matthew. But he gives him a complete game shutout, Tony. 109 pitches, 2 hits, 1 walk, 10 strikeouts. He has a .95 ERA. And it was his first complete game since that complete game against the Astros in 2021.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, you know, someone like Garrett Cole coming over to the Yankees, you know, obviously they're ace, someone who is, you know, looked to kind of be their guy all year long, including the playoffs. And it's kind of actually like not lived up to that entirely, specifically in the playoffs too. But for him to kind of pitch this complete game, I mean, it's huge to start the season off. And you would expect like this level of play to continue the entire season. Because really, like his past, what is he, 4-0, right? He has
4-0,
wins so far.
no
like,
home runs allowed after leading the league in home runs allowed last season.
right. So, I mean, obviously, I mean, that's, you know, no home runs allowed isn't going to, you know, happen for the entire season. But, I mean, you're talking like literally turning an entirely new leaf to start the season, which is great.
Yeah, you love to see that. And my dad always is texting me, Cole is jacked out on the mound. But yeah,
that.
I mean that's why we paid him, you know, $36 million.
Yeah, finally.
You know, and we saw it in the playoffs last year. It's carried over to this season. It's refreshing too. You know, with Severino down, Rodon working his way back. You know, you need that. Him and Nestor at the top will be very stable to start this season.
Donna says the haircut has made a difference.
The haircut, that's true.
Wow.
That's true. Yeah. So
That's a good point.
It is a good point. And you know, it's funny. I was mentioning how LeMahieu's been coming on. He was actually all of the offense. You know, today he hit a home run in the 6th inning, and then he also had an RBI double. And actually his last at bat too rocketed to center field. So you know when DJ LeMahieu is going right, he's hitting those line drives, those risers. That's so important, and especially when you can bat him 5th, 6th, even sometimes 7th in the lineup to get that contact guy at the bottom of the order.
Yeah, and honestly, I'd like to do some research on this because I believe that it was an RBI when there was 2 outs, and I want to say like every time I see LeMahieu up, he's always coming up clutch when there's 2 outs.
He's the man.
So
dude. They've been
he's
missing him.
He's like ice in his veins, you
Dude,
know, like.
Real
It's
quick
pretty
though,
impressive.
but first as Rampage folks, exclamation point, let's go Mets, let's go Mets. Alonso King of New
just
York,
homered?
Yeah.
Mets tied.
You absolutely love it, dude.
You love Buffer in here helping you out.
I know, I really
Mets
do.
fandom.
I mean, you can't interrupt Brian when he's on a roll like that.
Oh, I know.
God forbid you say Pete Alonso.
Honestly, I'm not sure that was the time, Michael.
Yeah.
I mean, it was, you know, law of averages. It was due for.
I mean,
for a
top of the
moment.
9th here, Alonso solo shot. Pretty important, dude.
Yeah, no, I mean, you'd hope they could rally here. We'll have to see
Anthony
what
Christian,
happens.
do you guys like the new
Jimmy
pitch clock
Jacob
rule?
Brooks.
And what about pass of the games?
Anthony who?
What's the
Anthony Christian.
No, I'm saying the pass of the games. What's pace? Pace.
Pace.
Okay.
Sorry.
Pace.
Pace. Sorry.
So, you know, it's
It says
interesting.
pass, though.
I guess I would say yes.
I'm
The
not
only
illiterate.
thing is, and we've talked about this when the new rules first came out,
Right.
is your experience at the game. You don't want it to be rushed. And the 3 games that I've been to this season, you can't get up. You're
Yeah.
going to miss probably an inning by
Right.
getting up.
Wow. That's
I-
actually pretty
yeah,
intense.
I don't think Michael's ever going to go to a baseball game again.
No, don't say that.
But honestly, I mean, it does make it a little bit more enjoyable for the viewer at home.
Right.
The fact that the pace is up a little bit, and I mean, honestly, like I don't know. I don't know. I mean, it's the first year doing the whole pitch clock thing and everything, and you know, you saw Cody Bellinger. I guess I think it was on Friday. his return to Dodger Stadium here. Got a standing O.
Yeah.
And because there was a standing ovation and he was just like taking it in, they gave him a pitch clock violation.
Oh yeah, I did.
Are
see
you
that.
kidding?
I did
Yeah.
see that. So
Like literally, the entire stadium on their feet, like cheering for him, and he's just like
And
waving,
the ump was
whatever,
just counting it
and
down,
then,
waiting.
Dude, literally, then he gets in the batter's box and he just stops playing. He's like 1 strike. So like I don't know. I feel like
That's kind of beat.
Yeah, it is kind of beat, dude. Like
Yeah.
give it a rest.
And what I would say
You
is
gotta know
I
when to
think,
chill.
I don't know if there's like a full answer on this. I think there's good and bad. And I think for growing the game, not getting fans frustrated, it's the 3rd inning and we're 2 hours into the game. Like that stuff's not happening anymore. But the one thing that I would just be concerned about is come playoff time, if somebody ends up losing a game because of a pitch clock violation, that would be the worst way you could ever end a baseball game.
Yeah, I mean, I really couldn't imagine. By the way, here as Tim Castro steals second.
Former Yankee great.
I want to say it's got to be like his 6th stolen base.
Yeah,
Honestly, dude. And it's every time it's just been on the money.
Real quick before you go on,
Ooh.
Matthew just says, which is a good point, shout out the horseshoe, baby. I love it. Shout out the horseshoe.
They pour a great Guinness here, by the way, if anyone's interested.
Yes.
Great
Jeff.
Miller Lite bottle too.
Great Miller Lite.
And it's great being here, of course.
3-0 count here, Tommy
And
fan. One
just
out.
thinking about the new rules too, and I know we've talked about this, Tony, but we're probably down for 10 years in a row. They're going to probably double what they did last year.
No, literally. I mean, it just really throws everyone off with the pitch clock and everything. And pitchers can't like step off the mound, right? Like they don't have that time to check the runner down. So it's like it just leaves a hole opening for someone like Tim Castro to steal some bags. So I mean, it does like that is something like that's kind of a positive improvement that the pitch clock brought to the team,
right?
To the league, I should say. So I mean, that's where it kind of comes in with its pros and cons to really everything. But like we said before, I think umps maybe have to, lighten up. And I think honestly, like in the playoffs, we're gonna see that pitch clock. I mean, it could potentially change a game.
Yeah.
I think we're gonna odds are I think it's gonna happen at least one game.
And I wonder if they could even add this rule in, mid-year. But I would love to see them maybe just give them 5 more seconds for the playoffs.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Because I think by the time the season's over, like the guys aren't even going to need to be watching the pitch clock.
Right.
They're going to be doing it naturally.
Yeah, no, you're totally right. I mean, it's different for everyone. We mentioned that. I also would be interested to see too what pitchers look like at the end of the season.
Right.
Because I mean, they've been pitching so much faster.
Yeah.
Some pitchers are used to it, some are not. And you see the pitchers who get the pitch clock violations, obviously not used to it, to that pace, that speed.
Everyone
and I
will
would
catch
imagine,
up, though.
but I would imagine though, like those pitchers will feel more fatigued down the stretch of the season.
Oh, that's a good point.
Yeah. So
That is a
maybe
good point.
too, maybe the managers, even though they normally don't let guys go.
I said word. Ain't never told no lie.
They normally don't let people go over 100 pitches, but maybe they'll really start kind of getting conservative with that in an effort to save them from down the stretch.
Yeah, hopefully. I mean, it seems like Aaron Boone doesn't really want to do that.
And obviously too, we hope that it doesn't result in injuries down the line.
Right.
We're very early on here. We'll have to see. But so just wrapping up the Yankees here. It was disappointing to lose those first 2 games of this series, but at least you battled back.
Right.
I'm really excited what Cole's doing. He looks like he's the early season favorite for Cy Young, which is great.
Very early.
And you just got to hope that Stanton,
Not that early.
maybe if it ends up being a month, let's just make sure when he comes back to the field, he's here to stay. Because
Who's that?
he's so important. Stanton.
Oh,
You've
no.
always been a big Stanton.
Yeah, what happened?
Hamstring. They're doing an MRI today, but a hamstring is never less than a month, right? And
can
it's
we-
usually more.
Can we get him to a yoga class?
Yo, what's up with this,
What is
dude?
the
He
it's
runs
the
like a
hamstring
block.
every time. He's an idiot. He's like,
Yeah.
Oh,
But fingers crossed. Who knows? Maybe it could be
Who'd
a
they
little
bring
tweak. I guess they did bring up Peraza, but Josh Donaldson working his way back, of course. He's actually
bases
rehabbing.
juiced, by the way.
He's actually rehabbing with Corey at Somerset.
Eduardo Escobar at the plate,
Ooh.
Brian. I thought you would find that interesting.
Tough spot there.
Jimenez with, I believe, a 4-pitch walk, second walk this inning, I think.
Yeah, this is
Bates juice one out here, but Eduardo Escobar, who's got to be batting like, I don't know, maybe 105 this season. So not great. They, by the way, Mets murmuring they have called up Brett Beatty.
Oh, there you go.
So and even Eduardo today had said, well, they're taking out Jimenez. Eduardo was like pretty cool about it, saying like this guy earns a shot, best of luck to him. He's gonna be one of the best third basemen in the league.
Yeah.
So, and Brian, I'm kind of surprised you glossed over this from Saturday's game. We talked a little bit about it before the show started, but Domingo Herman with the rosin kind of kerfuffle there.
Right.
Rocco Baldelli, not happy for Minnesota.
Well,
there.
so he's always been kind of an annoying. He was an assistant coach with the Rays, and he's become the Twins manager. Always arguing. There's always a problem with something. And I mean, if it's as simple as he used rosin from the dugout, he's going to use it on the mound. I personally don't see what the big deal is. Of course, if it was spider tack, that's different. But rosin is rosin. It shouldn't be a big deal.
Yeah, but then why would the tell him to wash it off?
Just because Rocco probably was in his ear about it.
Come on.
I hope they show this shot again. Matthew Fitzpatrick basically just won the RBC Heritage, almost hold it from, I want to say, maybe 200 yards out.
Get the fuck out of here.
I really hope they show this shot again.
No, they're going to show Fitzpatrick's family in Hilton Head Island, South Carolina.
Tough for Jordan Spieth.
Is he from South Carolina?
You know, that's a good question. Not really sure there.
Maybe he can drop it on Choker.
Yeah. But well, yeah, I'll let you know if they're going to do a replay there.
Yeah.
But yeah, all I was going to say is too, you know, you got the off day tomorrow, and then the Angels come to town. I'll be there on Thursday. Nestor's pitching again, so I get to see Nestor back-to-back games. So I'm excited about that. Clark Schmidt will be going on Tuesday, facing the Angels. Obviously, the Angels not the best team. Hitting's pretty good. So it'll be interesting to see if he can get something together, because if he doesn't, he's got to go to the bullpen. If he gets hammered in this start, there's no way you keep Clark Schmidt in the rotation.
No, you really can't at all, dude. And it's really unfortunate because I feel like it's, you know, we talked about Clark Schmidt many times, and you really want to root for the guy. As Pete Alonso was looking hyped in the dugout, by the way. Got the 6 shades on, dude.
But first, as bases loaded, exclamation points.
Let's
1 out.
go, Prefer Sam
For
Maul.
DTV Friday, picks are 3-4 this weekend.
All right, Sam Maul says this season 7 games, 4.15 ERA. Over 4 1/3 innings, he has 4 walks, only 2 Ks.
Why does it seem like whenever Prefer reports his picks, it's always like 70-80%?
3-4, he says, this weekend. 3 and 4.
First pitch here.
Wow! Does he get the call there?
Who's the ump behind the plate? That's bullshit, dude.
Yeah, Escobar's got to be tight there. But,
honestly.
You know, going to be interesting. Veteran hitter. And,
Graphics still says Jimenez is in the game for his 20th pitch. That is wrong, by the way. Graphics department, get fired.
And honestly, Tony, I was going to segue to you for the Mets segment, but I feel like
we got to watch
recap
that.
Yeah, you got to just call this out here.
What's going on?
Really fighting for his job. I mean, he's hitting in the 100s. He's done nothing. This would be a huge moment.
Yes.
What's going on here?
Just to get something going. Oh, grounder
out to short. It's going to be 2.
A double play.
And we are headed to the bottom of the 9th inning.
Yeah, you better fucking slam your helmet.
Do they go Robertson back-to-back days?
You have to, yes.
Or Ottavino or no?
No.
Tie game, you'd rather see Robertson.
But first says double play, scrub Escobar.
Literally, he's gonna get fired now. Dude.
And Fitzpatrick taps in, officially wins the RBC Heritage.
God damn.
Tough loss for Spieth, but obviously, you know, showed out this week and just came up a little short.
Right. Let's get to the Mets now, okay, dude?
Yeah, recap the weekend. Let's hear it.
All right, so big weekend, honestly, for the Mets. You know, started Friday. Mets defeat, you know, they're on a big road trip. I think it's a 15-game road trip. You know, we start out in Oakland now. We have Dodgers tomorrow, but so we're in Oakland at the Oakland Coliseum, Michael.
Love it.
I mean, all right, we'll recap the game, and then I'll get to the stadium because it's really sad watching games in Oakland. It really is. But
yeah, because no one's there, you're saying?
Because no one's there. Kadai Senga gets the nod here for the start in Oakland. Runs into some trouble, actually. He only ends up going 4 2/3, giving up 7 hits, 4 earned runs, 4 walks, 7 Ks, gave up 2 home runs. You know, so not a great outing for him. However, fortunately, you know, Oakland, just from the get-go, basically from the second inning, you know, we're just letting the Mets score left and right. You know, it started the same deal, which is ironic. Again, something I want to look into is how many times the Mets have been walked this season. Between Miami, between Oakland, and even honestly with Milwaukee, they've been getting walked all the time, specifically Brendan Nimmo. You know, you had Caprillion get the start for the Athletics. He only lasted 3 2/3 innings, giving up 6 earned runs, 7 walks, dude. Mm-hmm. So it's I think it kind of has something to say. I don't know if it's the Mets or if it's just kind of happenstance of who we've been kind of pitching or batting against, I should say, that we've been getting walked all the time.
Yeah, and obviously, you know, the A's not the best pitcher, so that makes sense. You know?
Right, yeah, but yeah, so Caprillion really had a rough start. And, you know, if you look at some of the scoring here, It started in the second inning, like I said. Nimmo, gets walked, and Guillorme just, walks in to score here. Marte, after that, gets walked, in which Vogelbach scored.
Your boy.
Yeah, and then here comes Francisco Lindor with his first Grand Slam of the season, 439 feet to center. An absolute bomb, dude. Obviously clearing the bases there. He goes on to have 7 RBIs that night. I think goes for like 2 for 4. But obviously at this point it's second inning and it's 6-0. And it is just sad songs here in Oakland. But I mentioned Kadai Senga having some issues, with the ghost forkball.
Brian Barnaby over there.
I know, dude, crazy. Just really couldn't locate it. And I mentioned how, so far we saw Senga have some issues with the forkball, have batters adjust to it. He was able to get to his fastball, but couldn't locate the fastball either. Really was just struggling with it to find the strike zone. Fastballs were outside. He's getting a few walks there. You had I'm not pronouncing this guy's last name. Langelier?
Okay, yeah, Langelier.
We have a home run to him in the 4th, and that was just really a fastball at the middle of the plate, and it was waist up, at the belt, literally where a batter would want it. And you're sitting there, and Alvarez kind of got the start here actually on Friday, which is nice. He's got 2 starts this weekend.
Nice.
Just quickly, Tony, who's in? I've never heard of this guy.
Yaka Bonus?
Yo, real quick, while you're taking another real quick, Neighbor Jack from Anthony Christian says, Neighbor Jack says, nice job, Brian. And then Befer says, your thoughts on Mets SNY broadcasters forced to switch booths in Oakland due to possum poop?
Yeah, dude.
Reeked so badly.
Dude, I was going to say that again when I get to Oakland. First of all, you look at this game in Oakland, and like I said, it was 6-0 early, right? And we were at the bar watching it, literally they're cutting to people playing the bongos and knitting in the crowd.
I mean, I'm trying to think.
Shut the front door.
It is the most
Come to Connecticut
baseball situation I've ever seen.
It really is, dude.
I'm not sure if you were in, Mike, when me and Tony were talking about this. I think it was Friday. But the A's, they have a $30 million payroll. Think about the Yankees and the Mets are over 200. Mets almost had 300, right?
Yes.
And they made the most money in Major League Baseball last year. Yeah, so the owner is just pocketing the money, has the money, but won't spend it, and they're the worst team in baseball.
Wow, that is a ripoff.
And their payroll was identical 20 years ago. So it just shows how cheap he is.
Oh my God.
I can't imagine being an A's fan.
Yeah,
I can't imagine being on the A's.
But dude, they had to leave the booth. It was possums and shit everywhere, dude.
But clearly they got to go to Vegas. We've talked about it.
Fuck Vegas, come to Stanford.
I think Stanford would be great. Nashville as well. So
would you be a fan?
I'd be down for Nashville.
This is one of those. I forgot.
No.
No, there was some other question you were asking me. I forgot.
Yeah, I forgot too. But I know what I remember.
Yeah,
I forgot.
It was Judge or something. I don't know.
No,
if he left the Yankees.
This is before. Yeah. But real quick, if that happened, would you have to be sort of a fan?
No, I would go to games though. Go see them play the Yankees. I'm not gonna be a fan of the
Tony
team.
Kemp, dude.
Tony.
By the way, Yaka Bonus over here just gave up 2, I believe, back-to-back singles.
Back-to-back singles. So
he's a 31-year-old from Elizabeth, New Jersey. Not good. Went to St. Joe's University, drafted by the Orioles in 2013. Looks like was free agent off of Tampa Bay, picked up by the Mets in the offseason as a free agent. Not looking good for him, though.
And I was
31-year-old right-handed.
Just before I forget, Michael read off the comment. Neighbor Jack saying hello. That's who you met at my house. Our next door neighbor.
Yes,
Neighbor Jack. So I appreciate him tuning in.
It was a pretty big game going on.
Wow, that's hilarious.
On right now, 2-3 games. No one cares. Yaka Bonus, by the way, career 6.03 ERA, dude. So stats are not great on this guy.
And I just think it's here, and I understand, they've used the bullpen a lot, going back to yesterday, but it's you got to just, when you have a game that you really seem like you should have a handle on, to just kind of, go with someone who's not used to pitching in this situation, I think it's a terrible move.
Yeah, and also someone who seems to suck.
Barnes like that one.
Anyway, so I guess
2-0.
We'll keep you updated here on Laureano, who could probably hit. Tony Kemp at second, don't like that too. But anyway, here, so Friday, we mentioned just the absolute disaster that Oakland is.
Can't believe
fouls that one off, dude. The
2-1
possums, I know. But Mets ended up winning Friday. I mentioned Lindor having a absolute like career night. I want to say his best night as a Met since he's been with New York.
Hasn't had many.
But the hitters were great from the get-go. Nimmo leading off 2 for 4 with 2 RBIs. Got walked twice as well. A nice swinging strike there, a fastball on the outside
2-2.
corner.
This would be a big strikeout.
This would be a huge strikeout here for Yacabonis and for all of New Jersey.
Jace Peterson on deck. Not exactly a
lefty,
strong
dude.
hitter. So
No.
I would, even if he strikes him out, would you pull him or no?
Gosh, probably not. I mean, who do we have warm up in the bullpen is the question.
I don't know, but I would have more confidence in anybody just because he hasn't been in this situation.
Literally anybody.
Michael, is that some type of
let's see.
alert or something?
Dude, I'm telling you, fastball, high
Facebook.
cheese. Oh, fouls it off. A low fastball,
Do it again.
I guess,
2-2.
dude. Honestly, dude.
That's
jam
going
him
for the
up.
sweep here.
Look,
Really?
yeah, there's Oakland.
And,
They're the
and
people.
it's funny, even though the A's have been bad the last couple of years, tough place to play just because, the expanded foul territory.
Yeah,
It's
I
supposed to
know.
be a football stadium, so it's kind of a weird setup that guys
So
aren't
trash,
used to playing.
dude. So trash. And the pitch here from Yacabonis, the windup. Wow, goes to the high cheese.
Gets him to chase.
strikeout. There we go,
95,
baby.
up and in. So we got one out here. Jace Peterson coming to the plate.
What a gut check, though, for Jimmy.
I mean,
Goes for the high
He
cheese.
really did him a favor there.
Dude, jeez. All right, anyway, so Friday, great job, dude. Moving on to Saturday, as the Mets kind of squeaked by in a nice 3-2 victory, Carlos Carrasco on the mound, and this guy, we gotta get him out of here, honestly. Gotta get him out of New York. As Pearson there fouls off the first pitch fastball. Clocking at 94, not bad. But Carrasco, again, just no location. He's not a strikeout pitcher. Only 3 Ks, last you 5 innings. You have to use a lot of your bullpen every time he starts. I mean, strategically, it hurts the Mets more, I feel like, having him as a starter. It's kind of ridiculous. And it's just, thankfully, we're reversing a team like the A's, and we kind of had some pretty good at-bats. Nimmo, another good night, 2 for 4 with an RBI, striking out only once. Lindor, 1 for 4. Alonso, 1 for 4 with a dinger. And then Kana, 1 for 4 with another dinger. I think Mark Kana has been pretty solid, honestly, at the plate for the Mets.
Good contact.
Looking at some of his stats, great contact. His OB. Sorry, I thought. Never mind. Only 2 home runs, but 5 RBIs here in the season. So, I know that isn't great, but for someone like Mark Kana, that's a boot to left.
He caught it.
Let's
Brandon
go,
Nimmo.
Nimmo.
Is that
With
the
a
play?
big
No,
catch,
safe,
dude. No,
safe.
he's safe.
I thought for
What a
sure that
catch
was
by
going to
Nimmo.
drop.
So did I, dude.
Yeah.
Wow. Nimmo a little shaken up. Dove, putting his body on the line there. Popped up, too, with a dart to second. Absolutely love that. You would imagine getting the wind knocked out. Look at this catch, Michael. Oh, dude.
I could do that.
The funny thing is, if this was the NFL, they might be talking about did the ball move? When it hit the
Yeah,
ground?
please, dude. Brandon Nimmo, my God, what, he's come so far since he started out in the outfield. He was a terrible defender in the outfield.
Would you say he's a Gold Glove candidate?
I would say so. You're going to catches like this early in the season? Absolutely, dude. And we saw some, a catch that you didn't think was so great last season. But still, he's made some great catches.
Aaron Hicks' catch from 2018 was so much better against the Twins. They would have lost the game, extra innings, Tony.
Yeah,
it was
where's
like a
Aaron Hicks
14-11
now,
game
dude?
or whatever. Oh, he's the worst player ever.
Oh, my
Different
gosh. Anyway, so I mentioned Carrasco's issues. The bullpen did pick him up, though. Drew Smith, an inning and a third with 2 Ks, giving up no hits.
Looks like he's going to get
Looks
out
like
of
a
it.
Fly
Pop
out to
third.
Escobar.
We are going to
End of the
extras.
ninth, baby. Let's go.
Wow.
And actually,
Jimmy.
on the other screen, we got Framber Valdez is
Wow,
going to start versus Andrew Heaney. That's the Sunday night baseball game. Battle
Wow.
of Texas
Wow,
between
Valdez,
the Astros and the Rangers. What do we got, Michael?
So cool comments. One of them is better than the other. Nimmo dive, yes, prefer. Juan Soto from Prefer is a Gold Glove. The award is a joke. And then Joe Viviano, says, sorry, can't get past the possum poop. Shout out from New Jersey, boys.
That's so funny.
Where's Rob Manfred in this, though? How does he not make them move, sell the team?
It's ridiculous, dude. That's those facts alone should be Done.
Imagine what John from Artichoke Basellas would say about that.
He'd sign him up.
Yeah, dude. Oh my gosh. Anyway, let's move on here with the Mets, dude. All right, we get a little distracted here. I was mentioning the Mets bullpen. Drew Smith, I complained about him a little bit in terms of not getting off his fastball. But his fastball was on top of it, as I mentioned, pitching in the third with 2 Ks on the fastball, giving up no runs, no walks. Then you had Rayleigh after him, pitching 2/3 of an inning. Same deal, no runs, no walks, got the strikeout. Adam Ottavino comes in there for the 8th inning, walks his first 2 batters, which I guess, I don't know. I feel like, we were talking about even with the Yankees bullpen too, but I feel like so often too, even with the Mets this season, a lot of bullpen guys come in and they walk the first or the first 2 batters.
Most annoying thing ever.
Like, what the hell is going on? I don't know. Do you think it's just like they weren't warmed up enough and the pitch clock, the pace?
The pace. I think it's getting used to the pace.
It's happening more so this season, I think, than I've ever really noticed before. But Ottavino is a pro. He gets out of it. He throws 28 pitches that inning. But, no hits, no earned runs, gets 1 strikeout. And then David Robertson, pitches a nice inning, gives him a hit, but settles down, throws a 12-pitch inning. 10 of those were strikes. So, he was able to locate his pitches and close out the game, which was great because it was a safe situation there. Mets ended up winning that 3-2, a tight game with Oakland. And we did see a Trevor May sighting in Oakland as well on Saturday. First time he's seen the Mets since he's played for them. But he's all right, dude. I mean, I guess he had to get out. He had an inning, 1 hit, 1 K, nothing given up. But he was just too inconsistent when he got the Mets. He's definitely a bullpen guy. I don't really miss that much. But yeah, great game, great weekend, obviously for the Mets. Very exciting as we're at the top of the 10th here with Escobar on third, with Brendan Nimmo at the plate, hoping to transition some good defense into some good offense, Michael.
You love some good D.
I do love the good D, and I love the good transition as well, dude. To the D.
Nice.
Brian's texting.
He doesn't care about the Mets.
The second you hear the word Mets,
I was
who are you texting? Everyone you know is here.
Everyone.
No, my buddy Timo is actually watching.
Timo Martinez?
No. He's in Sarasota, Florida, and he was saying he was having problems commenting on the show, but I'm imagining he's not signed in to his YouTube or Gmail.
Is it on YouTube or is it commenting from Twitter?
I sent him the YouTube account, so I think that's what it is. And actually, I was going to say about Robertson, we talked about has been impressive.
Right.
And you think about it, he had elbow surgery a couple years ago.
Yeah.
Came back late, ended up signing with the Rays. He's really, kind of re-upped himself as one of the better relief pitchers in the game.
Yeah, and honestly, it's just that curveball is so wicked, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, it comes in so high, it just drops on a dime. Beautiful 12-6. And batters have a really hard time hitting that ball, and it causes a lot of strikeouts. So you really love to see that. And again, the location on his fastball, I mean, he's just been consistently good, and the poise on the mound for him. Again, we've been saying, too, a team like the Mets that's lost, one of the best closers in the league with Diaz, to kind of have it a nice, healthy, replacement here. It's a breath of fresh air.
And you couldn't have had a better in-house backup option ready to go. A guy with experience, a guy who already closed in New York, had closed in Chicago.
Absolutely.
And was, with Tampa as well, Phillies. He's been all over the map.
Fell right into the role perfectly. You really couldn't ask for a better one, you said. Yeah. Everything all right, Michael?
Wow. Nimmo.
I'm in the Twitter space with Elon Musk.
Runner on third, 2 outs. Do we know who's coming to the plate?
Marte, perhaps?
Let's see this.
He was in the 2-hole yesterday.
A slider. Got to be a slider there, right?
Yes.
Slider.
Certainly a
Marte is up, but we got a call to the bullpen coming up.
Marte, who's 0 for 4 today, by the way, and hasn't looked that great as this weekend.
How about the Heat up 10? 9 minutes left in the third. Plenty of game left, but I know Michael's a big Miami Heat.
I got it on the other side. Thank you, Jeff. Big Jeff over there, bartender. If you know to tip your bartender, tip him well, baby.
Butler, 24 points.
Dude, Butler's going to go off for 45.
Love Jimmy Butler. But the staff here at the Horseshoe Cafe, absolutely phenomenal. Jeff is a great guy.
From Jeff to Dean.
Well.
Yeah.
I mean, all the time. It's like, what else do you need? What else do you need? What can I get you?
Well, and can you just real quick, Tony, now that you're on the Horseshoe real quick, can you explain how this came about?
This podcast?
Well, like how we know.
This episode or just being
here at the Horseshoe, us as fandoms here, our fandom here, leading us here, basically.
I mean, I really don't recall honestly the first time we came here, to be honest. but this is a bar that Michael and I frequent almost every weekend. It is a great spot to play some pool, competitive billiards. Okay, as Jay was working on his game before the show, by the way, and they, like I said, they pour a great Guinness. They have great beer. You can get pitchers here. Great crowd. Multiple TVs around the area. You got darts as well. It's just all around a great like hometown local bar. No one ever gives you an issue here. Like I said, the staff is great. We talk about Jeff and Dean over here. Our boy Kyle, who works the weekends a lot too, is the man. And again, I personally, and I know Michael hasn't tried the food yet. I will be trying the food tonight. Heard great things. Get the wings. Did you eat them?
On the way.
We will be having live review from Jay.
Yeah,
we got to.
We got it. Dude.
That's his. He did it, so he's got to do it now. He doesn't have to be on air if you don't want it. But
you did it, so you got to do it
here.
Zach Jackson, now coming in on an ERA of 1.17 on 8 games, 7.2 innings, 3 walks, 5 hits. I don't know how many earned runs he said, but hopefully he, walks Marte here, and then you can get Lindor, maybe a nice 3-run dinger, dude.
Yeah, you never know.
Yeah.
You never know. And I was just going to ask you, what's coming up next for the Mets? Who's their next?
Dodgers tomorrow.
Dodgers tomorrow. A 4-game set at City? Or no, they're
on the road. They're on the road.
Right. This is that West Coast trip.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
Tough
It's a
schedule
tough road
coming
trip,
up.
dude. Yeah.
You want to obviously grab this game when you can.
David Peterson on the mound tomorrow. As that first pitch was a ball outside, it looked like. And I think May is on the mound.
Oh, Dustin May, Ginger Guard. So, let's see it.
He's got such talent. It's ridiculous. Right, Michael?
100% correct.
2-0 on Marte. And we're going to keep, live with this at bat. But, Michael, throwing you a little curveball here. Let's go to the world, per Chokery's request, by the way, of the National Basketball Association.
We're going
LeBron James at the buzzer. He banks in the three, and the Lakers win the game.
3 pitches through his inning.
And it's funny. It seems like, Michael, it's been a long time.
Oh, he walks Marte. Let's go.
That statement has applied. We had that tough stretch, obviously. You go back to last season, but Lakers have been one of the hottest teams.
Marte walks, Lindor up
NBA.
now. 3-run shot looming.
Second half of the season, you're talking about the trades. The guys coming over, and one guy, and I know Chokery was texting me about this before, Rui Hachimura. I know you remember back to the Gonzaga days. Really has been such a big guy off the bench.
Was he the 3rd overall pick?
9th overall pick, but top 10 pick, obviously.
First Japanese American basketball player in the National Basketball Association.
No kidding.
I loved him when he came out. He had comparisons to, guess who? Your boy. Your second favorite player ever in the NBA, Kawhi Leonard.
Wow.
So basically LeBron sort of got his Kawhi.
Yeah.
Kawhi.
Yeah.
But yeah, big win, dude. And at the end, we caught the tail end.
Yeah.
I mean, they just poured it on them at the end.
So yeah, I mean, you think about it. They did set the tone early. They had a 5-point lead at the end of the first quarter. AD got off to a really hot start. You saw him, dunking all over the place, some alley-oops. LeBron setting him up as well. But the second quarter, Lakers ran into a little bit of trouble, got outscored by 11. So they actually went into the half down by 6 points. So the third quarter was really big. They outscored Memphis by 12. And, I mentioned Rui Hachimura. It seemed like every time you looked up, he was hitting a 3-pointer. He was getting a putback. He had 29 points in 30 minutes, including 5 of 6 from 3-point range, 6 boards. So he had a great game. And it was one of those games where, we know AD had a great game, 22 and 12. But you had LeBron, 21 points, 11 rebounds, 5 assists. D'Angelo Russell, who has played well, with the Lakers in his return here, 19 points, 7 assists.
Curveball high, 50 count. Let's go.
Austin Reeves, actually another one of Chokery's favorites.
There's a
23 points, 3 of 5.
Austin Reeves.
There's a whole theory that Austin Reeves was specifically planted in the NBA purposely, like Alex Caruso for jersey sales.
I love Alex Caruso.
But he is a hooper. Did you know he's like a Larry Bird kind of a dude?
Oh, he takes it, ball 4. Looks like we have Escobar, wild pitch. Scoring here, Mets are
talked
up
about the expanded
4-3,
territory.
dude. It's tough. It's killers.
Wow.
2 outs now. Lindor goes to first. Marte to third.
And then
Escobar
also,
in.
we forgot to mention, Michael, Ja leaving with that wrist injury.
Huge.
I think it was end of third quarter going into the fourth. We'll see what happens, but a wrist, obviously, something you really can't mess with.
Dude,
basketball.
bounces the curveball, just goes
before
crazy.
he left, 18 points, 6 rebounds in 30 minutes. But we know, despite Desmond Bain having 22 points, Jackson Jr. 31, they're not winning a game in this series without John Morant.
No, dude, absolutely not. There's no shot. There's no chance. It was going to go 7-6 games with him regardless, but now without, it could be a sweep.
Lindor takes second.
Yeah, definitely could be a sweep.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Big 2 out
and the
at
thing is, I
bat
have to
here
give
for
Chokri
Alonso.
credit. Before the playoffs started, he said, we're really a different team right now. I really think we have a chance to win it all, and obviously this is how you want to start out. Winning game one on the road.
Yeah.
And especially if you can win game 2, go back to LA with a 2-game lead. That'll really cement your status here. So you love to see that out of the Lakers. And what a turnaround they had after starting 2-10. You have to be impressed with that team.
No.
2-10 is
Not
a tough,
impressed unless they
tough
Tony's
hold,
not impressed, dude.
hold to take out.
Jay like that.
3-0 pitch,
Michael
by the way,
knows,
to Alonso
Obviously,
here.
all the basketball he's
Yeah,
played.
no, it's you. That is the most ideal.
Michael's
situation
always
in
started
the world.
2-10.
Right. And giving everybody an update, it's on here to our left. Michael's watching over there. 78-69.
Yep.
The Heat over the Bucks right now. 6:23 left in the third. I know you're a big Jimmy fan, and you do like
Big
Giannis
Jimmy.
as well, but you just like the Heat in general.
love Big Jimmy.
Are you really confident though that they're going to win this, or do you think it's like
I think-
7-game
no.
series could go either way?
Yeah, exactly. It's the latter, the 7-game.
Oh, my gosh. All right.
7-game
okay.
series for sure, dude. They're both so equal.
Alonso
Yeah,
walked
They're
now.
both playoff teams too. You can't judge the Heat on the regular season because they struggled, but definitely not the same team.
Bases
Bucks
juiced
with a
here.
layup. Oh,
Yep,
Middleton,
and one. Middleton.
78, 71, and 1. Looks like we're going to a commercial break.
And people forget their championship
Looks
team.
like we have
Yeah.
Vogelback up at the plate here.
Bases loaded for
Bases
Vogelback.
loaded and 2 outs. Very interesting.
And after this game, we got Clippers Suns at 8.
Yep.
Timberwolves Nuggets at 10:30. Michael, I guess George is out for the first round.
Yeah.
Do the Clippers have a shot with just Kawhi?
I think so, especially if it's up to Russell Westbrook, basically, man. And I think he could do it. I think Kawhi could do it, but I don't see it happening. You know what I mean? It's not like I won't be surprised, but I don't think it's going to happen, man. And it's tough because I forgot their record, bro, with Paul George. It was so good by himself. But then when Kawhi obviously came, they only played one handful of games. And then it's obviously been the latter with Kawhi, to be honest.
The ladder.
You like that?
And the thing is, I was talking to Pooch with this back at the house before the show. What a disappointment if you think about it, especially if Clippers go off first round here. The whole talk, Kawhi and George, they stole Paul George away from the Lakers. And me and Chokri, we were actually with Sam and my sister Jennifer. We were in Rhode Island for 4th of July weekend. We got the text in the morning. George is going to the Clippers. We thought, it was all over. And how ironic, the Lakers win the championship. The Clippers haven't done anything.
Yeah, and to follow that up, Chokery says, "Thanks, Brian!" ! I am excited because the Lakers got hot at the right time!
Don't get too excited.
Yeah, absolutely.
Vogelback here,
And,
2-1 pitch.
Now, what do you think, Michael, in terms of the Suns? Do you think that they're going to make the NBA Finals, or is it a big wild card just because Durant hasn't played with these guys that much?
No, dude. I know. I haven't seen them play, but I was listening to Greeny for 5 minutes on the drive from Donut into the studio, and I caught a segment of where when Durant has played with them, they're undefeated. First round, and they've just completely blown out teams. Because people forget how good of a defensive player Kevin Durant is.
Vogelback!
Oh, my
I
God.
thought that was a 2-run double
So
or
did
a single.
I, honestly, dude.
But we're going to the bottom of the 10th. Mets have a
That's
4-3
crazy.
lead.
This is awesome.
Will Robertson close it out? We'll see. Michael, and I was also going to ask you too.
Robertson will close it out.
Nuggets, Timberwolves. I mean, we saw the Timberwolves barely get that 8th seed. Any chance here for the T-Wolves? Is Gobert back? I guess it was a 1-game suspension.
Probably he's back, but that team is disgruntled. I feel bad for Anthony Edwards because he's a hooper, but I think it's Denver all the way.
Now, but you think Suns over Denver though if they get matched up in the Western Conference Finals?
Yeah.
Yeah. Chokery says, I remember Stacy broke the Kawhi news to us. LOL.
Yeah.
No, give me Jokic. Dude. I think the Suns.
But she also did, and we were
I don't want
actually in
Jokic.
California
Fake.
for this
So
one.
fake.
She broke the
want-
news about AD coming to the
Jokic.
Lakers.
No, say the Nuggets. Say you want the Nuggets.
Why?
Because you want the Nuggets, dude.
Why do I want the Nuggets?
Jay, Nuggets or Suns?
Suns.
The fuck is that, dude?
Tony, if you had to say, you just have to answer
Jokic
this.
MVP.
Favorite basketball player, NBA basketball player?
Like of all time?
No, in the game right now.
I mean, I guess I have been high on Jimmy Butler. I suppose.
Yeah. And Obi-Wan Kenobi.
And is
Obi
it,
Toppin
is
is
it
dope,
Butler
too.
because of like the intensity, the drive, like old school mentality?
No, literally, yeah. I mean, watching him in the playoffs last year, like the amount of minutes he's played.
Prefer set the Suns, by the way.
Wow, so I'm the only one going Nuggets, huh?
Yeah. Jay's bringing the wings over.
I do think,
Oh, wow.
though, too, Michael, it is Jokic's time. I mean,
Jay.
he's been
Yeah.
winning all these MVPs.
Buffalo
it is time for them
tenders?
to get over this.
Jay's got the wings right
So we
now.
got boneless buffalo tendies,
boneless
dude.
tendies.
Brian's mouth is
Hold on a
watering
sec.
right now.
Let me get in here. Let me get my shot.
We have
Going official
ranch, we
taste
have
test.
blue cheese.
David Robertson coming in for
First
the
bite
save.
right here. Do you guys see it?
Dude.
You guys saw it.
7 games, no earned runs yet.
What are you
No
thinking?
earned runs.
Fire, bro. Fire.
Fire has
Now these
spices.
boneless
what's the
buffalo
spiciness?
tenders,
1
right?
to 10, yes.
1 to 10, rate it.
So good. 10. 10 out of 10.
No, the
I might have to get
spiciness.
those.
Spiciness too.
Oh,
Like
spiciness?
on a level of Scovilles.
Five.
Any
Five
food
spiciness
orders
level.
over there?
Basically, wrap it up, Brian, what they're saying.
Yes.
Wow. Okay. So we got the Ghost Runner on second, obviously. So a big
Yeah.
spot here for David
I
Robertson.
think
definitely
he
smelled
tried
good.
to steal, I think, right now. I don't know what Wade
But
was
first
doing.
says Jay in the
Tyler
hizzy.
Wade. You know Tyler
Always,
Wade,
bro.
right?
All these former Yankees on these other teams.
I know. It'd be interesting to see if they steal bags, dude, because they didn't steal anything for the Yankees.
They're going back and forth.
They stole money from the
Why
Yankees.
is he coming up for
Shea, dude,
Jay
who
Langeliers.
had the 2 RBI double that tied the game for the A's, by the way. Or sorry, they gave the A's the lead.
John
The
Testani?
catcher.
Yeah. John. You know John.
Oh, John.
Yeah.
He says, shout out downtime. Let's go barn. Double exclamation point.
Wow. Appreciate John.
Yeah.
I believe he just wrapped up his round on the course.
Oh, nice,
So,
dude.
hope you
Robertson.
had him straight. And I was on the course with
Oh,
him yesterday.
That's
He
awesome.
was bombing the driver.
Oh, I could totally see it.
Fired
Dude,
up.
I can totally see that.
In the car together, always have a good time.
Look at this right here. You see Robertson
Such a good
absolutely
dude.
nail Shea, like almost in the head. Looking for his curveball, I guess. They got to show it again, dude. Are they not going to show it again? It's ridiculous.
And we have our first guest in the building.
Wow.
Booch joins us to talk
Wow.
some NBA. What's going on, man?
What's up, everyone? Thanks for having me.
Anytime, dude.
Awesome event. This is definitely a really cool spot to have this at. So I appreciate you guys taking the time to talk sports with me.
Hell yeah.
Yeah,
of course,
yeah. And we've been talking some NBA, and I know we were talking before. You were thinking, Denver out of the West. Any thoughts on what you're thinking for the Eastern Conference?
I think right now it looked like Giannis is hurt, right? He hasn't come back in the game, so I think he's going to be a big
Oh, Giannis
factor.
did get hurt,
Yeah, he
huh?
was shaking up. He was on the ground for a little bit.
Giannis was hurt. It looks like there's a lot of injuries going on in the NBA, so I think definitely the Bucks are strong, but I think some of the sleeper teams, the Heat are very streaky. I think that they might make this series close. Other than that, I don't really know much about the East other than the Bucks. So I would say like the Nets, they're playing really well chemistry-wise.
Yeah.
I think the East wins it this year, though. I'm sorry, the West wins it this year, though.
Yeah, no, especially without Giannis. I thought the Bucks would just steam through the playoffs, but if he's not going to be healthy, that's going to be in trouble. Do you think any chance the Knicks could go on a run? I mean, we saw them beat the Cavs yesterday.
I don't think the Knicks can match up well with the Bucks. I don't think anyone really has an answer for Giannis if he's healthy, and I think the Bucks are way better defensively, and I think the Knicks go through some periods where they struggle to score. I think that's their biggest downfall. They're good defensively, but other than Jalen Brunson, Julius Randle at this point to me is a wild card.
Thank you.
Where he can be hot from the 3-point line and go 6 out of 8 from 3, and then the next game he's 1 for 9, and we're like, why is he even taking these shots? So.
And real quick, Brian, I know you want to keep going, but I'm going to add another guest coming in hot from online world, Matthew Gabriel.
Oh, no, dude.
What's
You're
up,
live.
boys?
They can hear you.
What's up, Matt? How's it going?
Oh, hey, man.
What's up, boys? How are you? I'm in the
Car ride back
Good,
from
dude.
Westchester?
Car ride back. Dude,
Wow.
I wanted to say, what is good, boys? It's so great to see at the Horseshoe. It's beautiful. Love it.
Oh, thanks, Matt.
Were you able to catch any of the Yanks today?
Oh, yeah. Dominant performance. Garrett Cole. Love to see that. Dude, then we were watching the golf. That playoff was insane.
Crazy tournament.
Too bad Spieth didn't pull it out, but maybe he'll get
Yeah. But Hilton Head, we might have to do a golf trip there, honestly. I know everybody's down for that.
I'm down.
I'm down.
All right, thank you, Matthew, for tuning in, bud.
Oh, yeah, bye, Matthew.
No, I just, it's
it was
tough.
just a quick spot. It was a quick spot.
Thank you, Matty.
Appreciate it.
Wow.
Matthew looking handsome from Jay Bird 047.
Mike's tight, I think.
No.
Boy, the Bucks climbing back in here, only a 4-point game.
But yeah, continue. Sorry, we tried to
Robertson
get him in
running
there.
into some trouble here, by the way. Runners on second and third. One out.
And one thing's interesting, and it's like a combination of Doc Rivers and the Sixers. I mean, especially if Giannis is going to be hurt, I mean, they could potentially win it. I mean, the way Embiid's playing all season.
Yeah, I think I forgot about them for a second, but they're playing really well. They have a lot of good role players. I'm blanking on the guy's name. He's a really good shooter. Niang.
Yeah, Georges Niang.
He's really great off the bench. They have a lot of good players, and I think they're deep. I think you talked about earlier about the Lakers, and obviously I'm a Lakers fan, but I'm not the biggest LeBron guy, as everyone knows. And the Lakers have a really deep team, so I think that's why I'm kind of leaning towards the West here, where if the Lakers can get past obviously the Grizzlies, I think they could really get into the Western Conference Finals. I'm not sure if they could beat the Nuggets. I think Jokic is like an entirely different type of player that we haven't really seen. So it'll be interesting. I'm leaning West this year, but we'll see.
Yeah. And you talk about the Sixers too. I mean, Tobias Harris, a guy that doesn't really get talked about. He had 21 yesterday. They beat the Nets by 20. So it definitely, making a statement here. Harden, he's kind of been back and forth, but yesterday he hit 7 3-pointers. So
he hasn't missed the playoffs since he's entered the league.
I saw that.
It's pretty legit.
But it's interesting. I mean, what do you guys think? Because, he was obviously the talk of the NBA, maybe going back 2 or 3 years. Do you think that he's that much diminished from that product, or do you think it's just he's kind of been lazy, shooting more? I mean, do you think he's still one of the top players in the league?
I don't really think he's a top player in the league, but I think once you get older, you become a little bit more wiser and you decide to maybe be more of a pass-first type of option. And I think that he still has the shot, and maybe he's not driving.
Rounder here to Escobar. Bang.
Maybe he's not driving as fast, but we got the Mets win.
Yeah.
I think the person that really stands out for me, though, as a guard is Tyrese Maxey. I think he really takes a lot of weight off of Harden's shoulders, and he's able to come in and score and be a lot more aggressive. And it just happens because you have a younger guy in Tyrese Maxey, and James Harden's a little bit older. He's more of, let me pass. I'll take the open three. But he realizes that it's a team game, I think. Before, when he's on the Rockets, and other than that 1 year of Chris Paul, he was just putting up crazy numbers because there's nobody else that could even score.
Yeah. No, that is true. I don't know. I'm just thinking about it more and more. I mean, there's been so many disappointments, and you think about Kawhi against the Sixers a couple of years ago when that shot rattled around the rim and went in. I just think it might be setting up for them. It's just the point, when they get deep in this series, it hasn't like Doc Rivers lost. Michael, I think you would know this. Is it like his last 5 or 6 game sevens?
Yeah, it's some crazy stuff.
And I know the coach doesn't matter that much, but just the fact that they've had the same core there for a while. So I think this is a really big year for them.
Yeah.
Do we know anything about Giannis? Do we know what the injury is? Because I feel like that's the kind of the deciding factor.
The research department?
Yeah, I'm going.
I'm not sure, but I couldn't believe that they diagnosed Tyler Hero with a broken hand that quickly.
Really?
Boy, that's actually a big
I'm
loss.
assuming he's out the whole playoffs.
Looks like Giannis
100%.
is ruled out for the rest of the game, suffering a lower back contusion.
Ooh, fuck.
Wow.
So he got a bruised lower back.
Okay, I mean, but I feel like that's somebody could come back from. And it's so funny. I feel like we've seen this so many times, specifically in the NBA, and I think sometimes it's an acting job. But, like, for instance, when AD got injured earlier, we were watching it. We thought he was done for the year. when that happened. Then he's been starting the second half.
Yeah, he's had a great second half.
Yeah, great second half.
So you don't
Big
really
Mets
know.
win tonight, too. Did you see that?
Yeah.
Pete Alonso his 8th home run today. Pretty solid.
my
8 home
God.
runs.
Wow, that's good, dude.
I think he tied a Mets franchise record for most home runs through your first 16 games, dude. Tying Jeff Kent, 1994, dude.
There you go.
Look him up.
There you go.
The former Dodger great too.
yeah. None of the Mets record holders are actually Mets.
Yeah, Ed Kranepool we got?
Ed Kranepool was the only actual Met. It was like a career Met. Think about it, Brian.
Yeah.
David Wright.
Yeah.
Sad story. Couldn't complete his career. Back injury.
Yeah, they were.
No, you're right. I just meant like every time I think of the Mets and a star, I guess I would say David Wright.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Cespedes had a good run. I know it was a short run, but he was on fire until
He really
2015.
was unbelievable.
Yeah.
The power of his bat is just ridiculous.
Surprise us. Yeah, they'll definitely like rate.
And Pooch, what do you think about the Mets? I mean, I know it's a tough division this year, and Scherzer's already, hurt. Verlander on the aisle. I mean, do you think they have a shot, or do you think they need to add another bat?
I think they definitely have a shot. Didn't they get Starlin Marte in the offseason?
Yeah.
And Lindor didn't really have that great of a year early on last year, and then right at the end of the year he picked it up.
Picked it up.
I think
Yeah,
the
he's throwing
Braves.
it now.
I think the Braves have such a great lineup where that's going to be tough. But it seems like the Phillies are hurt, and obviously are they the favorite, the Phillies, to win the division?
I would think the
guess the
Braves were.
Braves,
Yeah.
Braves,
The Phillies are going to be tough. I mean, they've been kind of inconsistent. I mean, they just got shellacked by the Reds
Right.
like 2 nights ago, and then beat them 6-2 or 9-2, whatever it was.
6-10 so far.
Yeah, but not a great start.
No.
Bryce is hurt, right? He's not going to be back. He's going to be out for a while. And then their starting pitching, I think, has just been surprisingly bad.
Yeah.
Like their pitching, I mean, Wheeler hasn't looked great. Aaron Nola hasn't looked great.
Yeah.
Weird. Who's the other guy? Ranger Suarez.
Yeah, Ranger Suarez.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Again, they ended the season obviously on a high note, kind of, right? Making the World Series and whatnot. But tough start, honestly, for them.
Yeah. But you never know. I mean, just the fact that them and the Padres, they were so bad down the stretch last year, barely got in the playoffs, and they're playing in the NLCS. So you just really never know.
Yeah, no, very true. Very true.
So, I mean, it's early on here, but, we'll see.
Yeah, it's still going to be a division like we've seen years prior that literally comes down to the last weekend of the season where who knows who's going to win. So.
Yeah. And I feel like I know we're kind of bouncing back and forth there, but a good way to kind of round this out, this conversation. I want to start with you, Tony. I know I'm kind of putting you on your heels here. NBA Finals prediction and winner.
Oh, geez. I'm going to say, it's tough, dude. I say the Bucks make it back, right? And then Denver. Let's go Milwaukee, Denver.
And then who's
Denver?
Denver.
Yes.
All right. What do you think, Pooch?
I think Sixers, Nuggets, and I think the Nuggets win it. I think Jokic has, I don't want to say toned it back a little bit, but I think he's playing, not that he was never a team player, but I think he realizes what it takes to win. And maybe that's him scoring a little bit less, distributing the ball a little bit more. But I just think he's the most complete player in basketball right now. And they've got these young guys like Michael Porter Jr. and some of the other guys. I think they're going to be tough to beat. But I like to say the 76ers upset the Bucks in that sense.
Yeah. And if I had to say, it's very tough. I'm going to go Lakers-Sixers. Go with the Lakers. I know it's a stretch, but the depth is unbelievable. I know me picking a team that I root for, I get it. But I'm just saying, today was impressive. The Ja injury, I mean, I think.
Yeah.
So Ja right to the championship.
I mean, how can the Grizzlies win a game against the Lakers without Ja?
I don't know, but to your point, I would say that the Lakers made some of the best moves I've ever seen in the offseason, and they weren't even big name other than D'Angelo Russell, but Malik Beasley, Jared Vanderbilt, and Rui Hachimura, they all just click, it seems like.
Yeah.
And Austin Reeves just being able to play at that high of a level, which maybe he doesn't play like that ever again in his career, but sometimes people just click at the right times, and it seems like they really have a great core. In my opinion, LeBron today, other than I know he had a couple highlight blocks and a couple of decent dunks, it looked like the whole team was playing very well. It wasn't really LeBron. Anthony Davis looked unbelievable, hitting these turnaround fadeaways like he was like Dirk Nowitzki or something. And it's like I'm not even expecting Anthony Davis to do that. I'm expecting him to get in the paint and just kind of dominate that way. So Lakers look pretty complete as a team. So I wouldn't disagree with that. But I think the Nuggets might be a little too much for them.
And I haven't like watched that many games of the Nuggets. Like I know obviously Jokic is great. Porter Jr. has finally been healthy this year, and then Jamal Murray. Has he been finally back to the guy we saw a couple years ago?
It looks like it. Finally, he was starting to actually like dunk the basketball. I mean, it took him a couple games or a couple weeks to really get in. He was looked like he was hesitant to really kind of elevate and everything like that, but. I don't know. I just think they play like a different style of basketball, very team oriented. And I think the Lakers do that. Lakers are definitely way better defensively than the Nuggets, but it's going to be tough for them to keep up scoring points with the Nuggets, I think.
Yeah. No, it'll be interesting though. And the depth and Hachimura and Reeves, going back a couple years, we always got riled up for them. But I think it'll be an exciting NBA playoffs. I know Tony is so excited he can't help himself. The NBA playoffs. I mean, so many games, so many series.
Yeah, dude, a game every night.
I don't watch the NBA typically, Pooch, if you couldn't get that.
A lot of people don't.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And I mean, obviously, the one thing that I think we all agree on is just the whole laziness stuff. And I know it's different during the playoffs, but I think that's just what turns everybody off.
No, I love that they don't play in these
shouldn't. We all play basketball. It shouldn't be that hard to just D up. It's not.
Yeah, no, it's not. Yeah.
No, dude, it's so hard.
Especially if you guard Michael. I mean, it's just like
oh my god,
stealing candy from a baby, dude.
Wow.
But it'll be interesting for sure. But
Lopez getting heated.
I think what we got to do now, Tony, is just to kind of wrap up. We'll get just a quick NHL talk about the playoff series.
Oh, let's do it.
And but we appreciate Pooch,
thanks for having
coming
me, guys.
on.
I appreciate
it. We'll definitely have to have you on again. And we're gonna switch gears now to the world of the National Hockey League.
Here's Matthews. Scores! Hat-trick goal!
My goodness, this is a great shot.
Big hit on the far side by Makar. He flattens Jordan Stahl. Oh my goodness! That's the gun right back. Terrifying and robbed by Shesterkin. That's brilliant from Igor Shesterkin. It's a breakaway to win it in overtime. McDavid scores the winner in overtime.
All right. So we got the NHL playoffs starting tomorrow. Rangers Devils on Tuesday. What are the chances Coach Tony can get out of practice for the
never?
It depends on how Coach Jay feels.
Coach Jay?
No. I mean,
I was kind of kidding.
It's the last practice of the
week.
week.
Last practice of the week.
No, sorry, last week of practice.
Week of practice. Okay.
So Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So.
Yeah, but hey, I mean, because now it starts at 8. What's the deal? I know we always go over this.
Oh, the game 7:30.
No.
I know we always go over this.
Oh, practice is at 7:30 to 9:30.
7:30 to 9:30.
Get home at like 10:30.
All right, but I mean, games are you only miss a couple games, I guess. And that. Now I was gonna say because it's a shame. Otherwise, we could have went watch party for the opening game.
Yeah, that would have been nice.
But we'll just do it. We'll just do it after rugby's over.
No, yeah, sounds good. I guess the next game would be Friday.
Yeah.
It's Friday night game. Anyone?
I'm down. Devils, dude.
Gonna be away this weekend, unfortunately. But next week, let's just do it next week.
We do this weekend.
Yeah. Dude,
going to meet my nephew.
Oh.
Yeah.
Dominique.
Rhode Island.
Yeah. Well, Rhode Island, Massachusetts.
Not Dominique.
Dominic.
Dominique is a woman's name.
Dominic.
So
Toretto.
Tony, if we could just kind of go over these matchups quickly.
We can.
Starting with actually some kind of a local feel here. You got the Islanders and of course Chokery's Hurricanes, and he's been texting me a lot about they just have not, even though you look at the record, they're 52-21.
He's not excited.
But they haven't been the same team without Sevy. They go against an Islanders team who really heated up towards the end of the season. Brock Nelson coming back.
Brock Lesnar?
And just in general, how well, they've got a lot of, veteran guys on this team. Sorokin and net is unbelievable. If you had to give us something here, I mean, how do you see that series working out? That's actually the first game of the playoffs.
Yeah.
7 o'clock, ESPN2 tomorrow.
Honestly, you can catch me watching this game. I think this is going to be one of the best series we're going to have, honestly, around the hockey league. You mentioned how the Islanders were kind of leading up to the playoffs here. A team that was kind of counted out almost by the trade deadline, making a desperation trade for Bo Horvat, right, the captain of the Vancouver Canucks. Looks like I'm just trying to get something started, okay? Trying to capture lightning in a bottle. Then their leading goal scorer for the past 5 years, Matthew Barzal, gets hurt. Is missing now the entire, the rest of the season. Excuse me. Looking to come back for this playoff series soon. But missing that link on the Islanders roster, they were expected to be kind of counted out. But Brock Nelson, who's got to be like 32 years old maybe, career Islander, has an absolute stellar season, 35 goals I think he ends up with, maybe even more. And they make just phenomenal pushes down the stretch of the season. I mean, just look at the last 10 games. They took care of business against really good teams like the Lightning, beating them 6-1. Like the Devils beat them 5-1 down the stretch of the season.
Yeah, we'll
the
see.
Maple Leafs beat them 7-2. These are teams they're going to be seeing in the playoffs if they do see them, and they're dominating them in the regular season here. And you just look at some of the stats here. Really like goaltending alone, right? I mean, Sorokin's had a hell of a season here. 31-22, 7 overtime losses, but a 2.34 goals against on average, 924 save percentage. And then Varlamov, he was 11-9 in the season. Obviously didn't get a lot of play because of Sorokin.
Right.
But still, he's a 913 save percentage, 2.7 goals against on average. As we're getting some food here, it looks like, wow.
Be right back for some tennis.
Oh my gosh, this is amazing.
Appreciate it.
Sure,
that'd be great. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
They did not expect that.
No, not at all. No. I know Brian's a big onion ring guy.
Oh yeah.
All right, dude, come on.
Get in there.
Grab one.
Wow, these are big.
I know.
What the?
Yeah, don't wait for me or anything.
Hot. Very
Don't
hot.
wait for me or
Very
anything.
good.
I feel really hot in my hand.
Small bites, Tony. Small bites. But I'm kind of getting the feel, Tony, based on what you're saying.
I'm going Islanders, dude. Islanders in 7.
I'm going to say Hurricanes in 7. But I think it's going to be a legendary series. I'm excited to watch Game 1 tomorrow. Obviously, we wish Chopri good luck with this one.
We do.
I think it's going to be
He says,
a
I
fun
hope
series.
the Canes can make it to the second round, but overall, it doesn't look good for us. LOL.
Wow, Chopri's doubting.
But Michael knows from all his years of watching NBA and stuff, sometimes you have this feel like it's not going to be good, and then it's great out of nowhere. You don't
Yes.
see it coming. So I think it's possible that could happen. Panthers, Bruins. I don't think we need to spend much time on this. I think this is going to be a sweep.
Yeah, I think maybe a gentleman's, honestly. I mean,
Barnes ready for food.
I mean,
He said, I don't think we need to spend time on this. We're going to go eat food.
Magic Kachuk's had a hell of a season for the Panthers. 40 goals, 69 assists. Having over a 100-point season here. And I know, you look at someone like the Panthers going against an absolute, behemoth that is the Boston Bruins, having, now a single season win record for the NHL. Ridiculous. We mentioned the stats about teams that had won the President's Trophy, how to do the playoffs. Teams who beat that stat, how to do the playoffs.
Wait, but you think that really matters? I know it's happened a lot, but don't you think every year is individual?
I suppose so, but I mean, we're still talking that this has happened multiple
Right.
years.
Oh, no, I get it. I get
so-
it. Obviously, the Rangers, were
Right.
privy to that.
But I mean, just looking at the Panthers roster, I don't think. I mean, Carter Verhagen's had a great season too, but Eric Stahl, Sam Bennett, I mean, Brendan Montour. Don't get me wrong, Barkov is another talented.
Another
skater.
round, fellas.
Thank you.
But I don't think they just have Anthony Duclair, former Ranger. I just don't think they have all the pieces that could really just dismember the Boston Bruins.
And some wings.
And Sergei Bobrovsky, wow. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Bang.
Wow, those are steaming. Thank you.
Yeah, Borowski, I'm not impressed with. Great year last year.
Yeah.
Salute, by the way.
Dude, solid.
How are the onion rings, guys?
Very
If you could
crispy,
explain them, yeah.
Excellent.
Nice.
Hot off
Matt
the press,
says, wow.
Little crunchy onion.
But first says nuclear heat, blistered mouse. Jay Bird says looks fuego.
There is a real art to making an onion ring.
Yeah, tell us.
Because if you don't make it crispy enough, that onion ring will slide completely out of your breading.
Yeah.
And it's just a terrible time.
Yep.
But if you make it too crispy, well, then it's kind of burnt and it doesn't taste as good. This is
good.
perfect. It's sweet, crispy.
First time having food here, guys.
First time having food here.
First
How is
time
it?
having food. Thoroughly impressed.
Yeah, I mean, I've only had an onion ring so
Yeah.
far, Michael,
Yeah.
okay? But it's great so far.
And you've been having Guinness the whole time?
Yes.
What's your thoughts? Brandon, who's your huge Guinness guy, loves it on draft. Yeah.
I kind of get it. Any bar I go to that has it on tap, just because doesn't happen often.
Right. Exactly.
And even so, like there's some places that don't pour it correctly either. They pour it great here. It takes some extra time.
Yeah.
But I love it, dude. I love Guinness.
He loves like an early morning Chelsea game. He used to go to like Anna Liffey's, Guinness on tap.
Anna Liffey's, Michael. He's
love Anna Liffey's.
Yeah.
Real quick, but first says Tony, is that you or the beer talking? Barnes love that.
No, I don't know. It just kind of like it was a preferred.
No.
Let's put it that way.
Well, anything Tony Barnes loves, obviously.
No, take it preferred.
Is that in regards to the onion ring?
I could do that. I just told Jay I had to tell you. I got to share this story. So I go, Jay, can you tell Renee that Barnes' camera needs a new battery? And he goes, Renee.
Classic Jay, dude.
Yeah.
All right, moving along here. What do you got? Wild Stars.
Wait, you guys are going to try the wings real quick?
Yeah, sure. Let me get
four. While Tony's preparing those wings, though, Wild Stars, I mean, similar record, separated by one game. Wild 146 games, Stars 147. But I just want to make sure here, Kaprizov is back for the playoffs. I know he had that injury. I just wanted to double check that because that's kind of a deciding factor. But he is online to play in Monday's game 1 versus Dallas. So I think that's everything. And I know, Dallas had a good year, but I told you from the start of the season that I just don't think come playoff time that they're going to have what it takes to get it done. I've had them as a one-and-done team all season, and I think that's going to continue, this year. And it's a nice stepping stone, something to build on. Roberson's very good, as well. But and I know it's funny, it's ironic because I always kind of would throw some digs at Marc-Andre Fleury, and Gustafsson has actually played better. It'd be interesting to see if they do a split with that or whatever they do. But I think, his experience in the playoffs, I think that would come big. And I know you look at over Stars are going to get a little starstruck in the playoffs. 5-game gentlemen, like you like to say, Wild over the Stars.
I don't know, man. I mean, for me, honestly, I'm feeling Dallas. They've had a great season. They're struggling kind of down the stretch here in the West. As Renee is sitting down in hockey.
Wings are excellent, by the way. I want Renee's live opinion here.
Wow, with her fingers.
Well, I don't have a fork.
Oh,
I'm not gonna have headphones on to hear you guys.
It's worth it. All right, nice bite. Crispy. Delicious.
Mmm.
Yeah, these are like really good.
These are really, really, really good.
The wings are fire.
9.6.
Wow. I would agree with that.
What would you guys rate it?
I would say same thing, honestly. Excellent.
For me, I would maybe like 9.1. I could like it a little more heat.
I think it's a perfect amount, though. You're not dying.
I'm in the 9s as well.
I want to be dying. But anyway, Stars, honestly.
The first says wings with a fork is like eating pizza with a knife and fork. Well,
no, it's not.
First of all, you're wrong. Totally wrong.
They're boneless wings.
Boneless wings here.
He didn't realize it. We'll give him a pass.
Yeah. Jason Robertson, actually breakout star here, obviously here. But I think there's a lot of experience. Jimmy Benn, Joe Pavelski, Tyler Seguin, even Ryan Suter too. Great defenseman. And I think someone who's going to make a big impact for the Stars is Max Domi. Mm-hmm. Someone who was a great player for the Canadiens, decent for the Blackhawks. Obviously gets traded to Dallas here. The Blackhawks don't need him anymore. And Jake Oettinger, I think, comes up big in between the pipes. So I think it'll be a toughly fought, contested series because the Wild also has a lot of experience and talent. I would say Dallas at 7.
Dallas at 7. So another long series here.
Definitely.
And the only other game starting tomorrow, we know how you feel about them. The Edmonton Oilers, a very sneaky 50-win season.
Very sneaky.
You think about Connor McDavid, 64 goals, 153 points. I mean, a complete animal. And then you think about
he did
the
it.
Kings.
He had that season finally, huh?
Yes. Yeah. Are you a McDavid guy, Mike?
Now I am.
Yeah.
Hey, it was all talk though before this, dude.
And what do you think? I know this sounds like a Tony
doesn't understand.
It sounds like a Tony thing here, but he's not like an Oilers guy. What do you think it is?
I don't know. It's kind of like the Connecticut thing.
Really?
Yeah, for him.
Just because they haven't. I mean, last year they finally made it to the Western Conference playoffs, but I just feel like McDavid, Draisaitl, Kane. I mean, I know Kane. That probably plays.
He doesn't like Kane.
Would
at
you
all.
say that would be the biggest reason why?
And I think he hates like them clowning McDavid already.
Listen, McDavid's a great talent. You can't deny that. I just think that Edmonton is an incomplete team. All right, they rely, entirely, I feel like on scoring goals. And yes, I feel like down the stretch of the season, you've seen great, defensive plays from like Yamamoto and Nugent Hopkins, stuff like that. But I don't know, man. I understand McDavid, 153, whatever, how many points he had. Give me LA here every night of the week, dude.
You're not going to give a number of games?
I don't know. LA in 5.
LA in 5. Wow. And is it a Phoenix Copley special?
I think it certainly will be. He's just done some phenomenal work here for a team like Dallas, for a team like LA, that just wasn't looked at as someone who could really compete. I guess in the West, in the playoffs at all. Someone, who at first the team that was relying on Jonathan Quick too, the veteran here. Obviously that did not work out for them. He's gone. Phoenix Copley, though, with 37 games played, 2.64 goals against on average. Save percentage of 9-on-3, which isn't incredibly high, but still great. And I think you may see some Junis Corpusalo, Corsipalo games as well. But I just think, all in all, with their ability, with their quickness, again, a team that knows how to win, a team that has won the cup before. There's many guys on this team that has hoisted the Stanley Cup. No one on Edmonton has ever
Can't deny that.
Can't deny that. And they have some tremendous youth as well. We talked about Fiala, basically all season, in Velarde too. They have, I think, a lot of things going for them. And, I think for them, it does start with Kopitar, someone who has hoisted that cup, center position, a big face-off win guy, 74 points in the season too. So he does his homework here.
Yeah. No, I think it's going to be a tough test. But I think one thing that the Oilers have on their side, other than the talent, is the surprising experience that they gained last season by making it to the Western Conference Finals. It didn't look like they were going to make the playoffs.
Yeah.
Where you think about Draisaitl barking at reporters and stuff.
Such a jackass.
So I think that's going to give them confidence here, and I think their speed is so key. I think the speed of McDavid, the speed of Draisaitl, I think they're actually going to get this done in 6. And I think in their future will be a date with the Colorado Avalanche.
A nice reunion date.
Yeah.
Wow, dude. We'll see.
So that'll be interesting. But nice 4-game slate tomorrow. Obviously
Great matchups here.
great matchups, but obviously we're earning for the Tuesday Rangers, Devils. Stacks is going.
Oh, that's so sick.
So he'll be there in New Jersey. He must have told me 20 times that his ticket price has went up 4 times since he won it.
Really?
Almost $1,000 a piece.
Oh, I bet.
Oh my God, dude.
But it's interesting. I guess it depends where you're sitting, but I'm showing on ESPN.com tickets as low as $187.
No way.
But Prudential Center, so it's going to be less in the Garden.
But still, where are you sitting, outside?
And you know what is actually tough? I mean, I'll be able to watch game 1, but I'm going to be – wow, that's actually 6. So, I'm going to the Yankee game on Thursday.
Right.
It's a 4 o'clock game. Rangers start at 7:30.
You just go right over, take the train.
Yeah. No, well, Devils not taking the train there. But
taking the boat.
And we'll talk about obviously more of this on Tuesday when the games, are had. But as we inch closer to this one, what do you think the key is for the Rangers to really kind of get off to a good start in this series and not have, for the second year in a row, another 7-game first-round series like they did with Pittsburgh last year?
Well, honestly, to not have this game go 7, I think is going to be pretty tough for the Rangers. But if I were to give them some advice and maybe like a formula on how to do it, obviously a lot of this starts with Shesterkin, because the Devils are going to get good chances. It's just the way the game play, just the game plays. There's going to be times where the Devils are on the power play, Shesterkin's going to have to step up in big moments like that. You're looking to shut down certain players. And I think the only way to shut these players down, you can skate with them. You have the speed to skate with them, but you have to find a way to slow them down. You have to avoid letting them just poke the check up and poke the puck up, and try to chase it into your own zone. You got to play physical, and you got to shut guys down like Jack Hughes, who we've seen have tick under 100 points, 99-point season here. Nico Herscher as well, great center. Dougie Hamilton's a great defender who knows how to play offense. Jesper Bratt is someone who, you put the puck on the right spot of his stick, it's almost a guaranteed goal. Dawson Mercer's another guy who I've been talking about all season. Tomas Tatar is someone who's, a veteran in the league.
Talking sports with Jake, do you know him?
Another student.
It's one of my students.
Teacher of the year, Anthony Materiello.
Literally, Rangers in 7, he says.
I would totally agree. We know about Timo Meyer as well. McLeod, all these guys. Andres Palat, too, a guy who played with the Lightning, points in the Cup 3 times with them. They have that couple veterans, a lot of youth. You have to play physical from the get-go. The one thing they don't have is, like we talked about, is that experience in the playoffs. And if you come out and you just absolutely hammer them, just check them into the boards. Always constantly finish your checks.
Yeah.
I mean, that we've seen it time and time again where guys just don't finish their checks. The puck goes away and they end up just kind of not checking the guys. They don't want to be that physical. Be that physical. All right. Everyone, I want to see fourth line from top to bottom. I want to see Kreider laying hits. We've seen Zibanejad lay some hits. We know Goudreau, we know Trouba, Miller. All of our defensemen can hit. Schneider's been great too with being physical. That's the way we can slow them down. Try to make them second guess wanting that puck in the open ice. That is going to be the key to avoiding the Devils.
And I think we think back to last year and those long series to start off the playoffs. I think there were games where we really felt the Rangers were too tentative, and that's what was holding them back. That's why it took so long to score. So I think, like you said, the physicality, but also you're going to miss shots, but you can't miss shots that you don't take. And I think that's the key.
Wayne Gretzky. I think you're totally
Michael
right.
Jordan too, or no?
Yeah. Michael Jordan first.
I think you're totally right here. That's obviously defense, physical is one thing. To be good on offense, like you said, Rangers have been tentative at times. But you know what? We've seen an uptick from goals, specifically from Artemi Panarin, I feel like, towards the end of the season.
Yeah.
And that's someone you really want.
Redman.
When he has the opportunity to shoot, you want to take it without second guessing. Because some of his shots are just on a fucking rope sometimes. And he knows how to just find the corners of that net. So like you said, they have those opportunities, just absolutely fire.
Yeah, I feel good about Shesterkin. I feel good about the stalwarts, obviously the Kreiders, the Zibanejads, and Panarins. But I honestly do think the X factor in this series, Patrick Kane. If there's a 2-2 game, third period, overtime, he just sneak one past the goalie, and that experience of being, winning those 3 cups, I really do think it's going to come into play. I don't know when, but I think it is going to come into play in this series.
Yeah, no, you're totally right. I mean, think about some of the games that the Blackhawks have to play, cup finals, throughout the playoffs, against teams like the Penguins, against, teams like the Kings and stuff like that. I mean, they've had to go through some really tough lineups. They've had, series go 7 games. They've had double overtimes. And, Patrick Kane, Jonathan Taves were always 2 who were, guys who were making game-deciding decisions successfully, that may I add. So, yeah.
It'll be interesting. And what would be kind of cool if we did, even if we don't, because I know obviously ticket prices through the roof, but even if we went to the city and just went to that, what's the restaurant across the street?
Jack Dempsey's?
Yeah. Wouldn't that be kind of sick? Just to go for the game? I know Michael would be in. Dempsey's for the Rangers Devils?
100%.
Maybe later in the series?
Yeah, I'm down. If there's a game 7, we can get tickets, we're going.
No, but and also, too, we're there. Get there early. Just never know. You check the ticket app.
Yeah.
Sometimes, people last second can't go to the game. Got to get rid of the ticket. Don't want to lose it.
Yeah, you're totally right.
So that's something interesting to see. But I'm just so excited. It's taken so long. It's just like baseball. It's taken so long to get to this point. And I think I can say with confidence that the Rangers are much better equipped this year than they were at this time last year, despite them making
Tony
a deep
feels
run
the same
last
way.
year. But there's more talent on the team.
Yeah, Tony feels the same way.
No, you're right. I mean, think of their acquisitions.
Tony.
What?
I just said your name 3 times.
Think about the talent they acquired in the offseason. You know about Tarasenko and Kane. Bring in Tyler Mott in, who's been doing well in the fourth line. Jimmy Vesey, bring him back too.
I feel like no one's talking about Tarasenko. He could be an X factor.
He definitely could be.
I know he's a little quiet.
He won St. Louis's only franchise
Stanley Cup.
You know,
right?
So, and again, he was an X factor that year in that series in the Cup final.
Yeah.
So you expect him to bring some of that experience, some of that drive, momentum, flavor, if you will, Michael, the postseason now.
Yeah.
Love flavor.
It's going to be so exciting. And Michael, I feel like I didn't ask you a couple of things I got to ask you, but the first one with this series specifically, honest truth, God honest answer. What number of games winner? 7.
Rangers.
Really?
Yeah.
Are you shocked, Tony?
Very shocked. Honestly.
Just the experience, the firepower.
You know how I say certain teams it's just a year too early or whatever. Like Mets, I say it's not their year this year, it's their year next year.
Right.
Same kind of thing I'm feeling for the Devils. Like, will I be shocked if they win? No, because they're a good team, but I don't expect them to like it's tough to win in the Garden. Like you got to remember that. Like people don't factor that in. That the Garden's a different animal, especially Rangers, hockey, playoffs. It's a different beast.
Exactly, and I just think it's going to be tough for the Devils. I don't know about you, but I'm expecting the Rangers to take game 1, maybe lose a tight one in game 2, and then that crowd for the Devils, younger guys, could be overwhelming game 3, 4, and that might be it.
Yeah, and again, I mean, I understand they're youthful and they're in shape, but a lot of these guys have never played this deep, this many games.
Right.
So, I mean, they could be tired of legs come game 6.
And Jack Dempsey's for game 7.
Yeah, dude. Oh.
And I guess I didn't really ask you this, Tony. I know it's tough. I'm kind of putting you on the spot, but if I had to give you Stanley Cup prediction, like matchup, what are you thinking?
Oh, jeez. I mean, I'm going to say the Rangers, obviously coming out of the East here. It's tough, dude. And I guess, I mean, for me, I don't think the Kings could do it. I could see Dallas going back.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
And what type of series are we talking about there?
At this point, I think we're talking 6 games. Get the family and stuff. Yeah, take pictures of the random people. That's funny. No, Michael, is that funny?
Sorry, I was doing some behind the scenes stuff.
I heard you.
Carry on, Tony. Carry on.
The family.
You think you're funny?
I think. Again, Dallas. Oettinger, I think, is someone who's kind of been underrated. He started the season off great, fizzed out. People forgot about him. Ended the season off hot. Rookie
ended the season off hot.
Rookie season, as well as Jason Robertson, who at one point was leading the league in goals. So, I think it could really go either way. But I think at that point, Rangers have more talent than Dallas do.
Yeah. So obviously, agree with you. Would love to see the Devils win, but this should be the Rangers. So finally, an honest comment from a guy who's been known to fib. But I'm going to say Rangers, and I'm going to actually say Edmonton. So that would be kind of interesting. And is this possibly McDavid's last game as an Oiler? Game 7. I said word. Ain't never told no lie. We're going to have a Shesterkin shutout, 0-0, going to overtime.
Rivera.
And like Mariano Rivera, Patrick Kane closing it out. Game winner, Game 7. Rangers, champions of the hockey world for the first time since 1994. You can't write a script like that.
No,
I love it. It gets me hyped.
I think Edmonton gets knocked out first round.
Edmonton first round.
Edmonton first round.
Who do you think's winning the Stanley Cup?
Rangers.
Yeah, you feel it.
Yeah.
You see it. You feel it.
I just can't.
Where do you feel it?
in my gonads.
You like Shesterkin?
I do like Shesterkin. I just could see, honestly, all 4 major sports this year winning in New York.
New York is hot.
I think it's going to be Rangers, Knicks, Jets, and what am I missing? Yankees.
Let's go. Let's go.
That's what it's going to be.
And then really the last thing I wanted to ask you, because I didn't get to ask you this before, your NBA Finals prediction.
Denver.
We're going to do Knicks, Lakers.
Wow. A little East-West.
Yeah.
Little East-West.
Lakers, Blues.
7?
Yeah.
And Brunson MVP?
Yes.
Wow. Prefer, one more comment, at the buzzer?
Yes, at the buzzer. Vegas Golden Knights winning the Stanley
That's
Cup.
interesting. We kind of forgot
Yeah,
about
there could be a
Vegas.
sleeper
Eichel.
for the West there.
Yeah.
But I forget who they're playing.
Oh.
Colorado?
I think it is. Is it Colorado or is Colorado playing the Kraken?
Let's see. Oh no, Golden Knights playing the Jets, dude.
Wednesday, game 1?
No, Tuesday night.
Tuesday night. Okay. So
And Avalanche are playing the Kraken.
Avalanche are playing the Kraken. But that is an interesting comment.
Renee doing behind the scenes, everybody.
I prefer.
I got you on camera 3.
But I have to say, what a time this has been.
Oh my gosh.
It's time to be alive, dude.
And the nice part about it is, first of many.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, my God! First of many.
Yeah.
A huge shout out to the Horseshoe
Yeah.
for housing us. Because we've been to some places where we feel pressured.
Yeah, we do, and don't feel love.
Yeah, I don't feel love. Dean here is great. Jeff is great. The
Yeah.
food is phenomenal here. I'm excited to try more food.
We're gonna get more food,
wings,
yeah, for
more
sure.
onion rings.
Not even necessarily now, but at any point.
Yeah.
No, I'm definitely getting
So
food
I'm
tonight.
super pumped, and just great crowd, great people here.
Yeah, shout out to everyone that came.
Yeah, I would do the sports board here solo dolo.
Yeah, and I think we
Jay
could
says love
say,
I heard you.
obviously we'll have the official episode in studio, but this would be our unofficial celebration of 500
Yes.
episodes of the Sports Board.
Yeah.
How great is that?
I think Wednesday is 500. I think.
Yeah.
Wow.
Who knows? Maybe we go somewhere for it.
Yeah,
You never know, dude.
Little
Never
curveball.
know.
Little curveball.
Yeah, a little
action.
curveball, dude.
Could curve it.
Maybe we'll be at Citi Field.
Maybe.
You never know. But it is great, and like you said, really like to thank everybody for coming, for
Yeah,
tuning in. We had a
huge.
lot of comments.
Love the
and,
support.
We really encourage everybody to continue to comment, like, subscribe, all the archives on the YouTube page.
Renee in
Tony,
costume.
Michael, and Renee in costume, well as the merch, downtimetv.com. Me and Sam waiting for our tie-dyes in the mail.
Dude, that's so sick.
Those are
Pending.
coming soon. And we want everybody.
Oh, and shout out Indigo.
Shout out Indigo.
Shout out Jay. Indigo got a DTV duffel bag.
Shit, duffel bag.
Oh, she was talking about that for a while. Yeah.
Okay, not for nothing, Indigo.
The most
She
expensive thing
complained about the prices, and
Yeah.
that is the most expensive thing you can buy.
from our catalog. Yeah, definitely. But thank you for the purchase.
yeah,
Yeah,
sick,
that's
dude.
awesome. Horseshoe's been great. Looking forward to enjoying the rest of the night with everybody.
Oh,
yeah.
And I'm going to have Michael finish this one. We will see you guys.
Mañana.
Hey guys, Tony here from Downtime TV checking in. I want to thank all our fans out there who's been liking, subscribing, sharing.